You're not coming. Well, I'm going on an airplane for the first time since COVID. Not because of that, but just timing. So I am going to do some photography on it, although the trip isn't for photography. I'm going to go see Linkin Park in Montreal. So I'm going to fly there with my brother. So Linkin Park is like one of my favorite bands. So and it'll also be a dry run for the fall where I'll be doing flying again, and then that will be somewhat more geared photography related. So I just wanted to prep my gear bag so that I have an idea. Hopefully, have no issues going through the airport. I'm gonna go pretty light with what I have because I'm not gonna do any astro. So in Montreal, I won't be doing any, and then uh, undisclosed location won't be doing anything there astro related either. So strictly landscape. But we'll see what we got in here. So camera, telephoto will be going. My 24-120. I have my 85 in here. That's probably not going to go. It's a heavy lens anyway. And then I can use that. So that probably won't go. And then I got my filters. And that's probably all I'm going to bring. I'm going to hopefully borrow a drone.
I'll probably also add my 20mm prime 1.8 because it's only just shy of 500 grams, so it won't be much. And then it would also leave for the opportunity to do astro if I did decide to change.
I'm not worried about weight wise, but I will weigh it right now though. So weight shouldn't be an issue with what I got. The drone wouldn't weigh much, and that's assuming I can even get one to borrow. My tripod will go in with my luggage because it'll be simpler that way. So trip in the fall, I'll have a laptop in there. Yeah, an airplane.
I miscalculated my timing going to my brother's as there was no traffic. I went to the park near his place and watched the ducks, as well as the red sun from the smoke from the wildfires. This would change my plans in Montreal as well. I had no issues getting onto the airplane. After arriving, we explored towards the water, the St. Lawrence River. I didn't dig out my camera much. I did get this shot at top of the Bonsoir Market, which was pretty neat, and I was able to isolate it. I thought I had some B-roll of it, but I guess not. After exploring a bit, we walked towards the Jacques Cartier Bridge to get to my first shooting location. The walking path was narrow, and there was a constant stream of bikes passing. I did try and shoot the road leading into the towers, but it didn't pan out. There was a viewing deck, but it didn't offer the same view as earlier with the road leading into the scene. It did give a good view of the biosphere, which is an environment museum, We didn't go to it, even though we had walked pretty close past.
Well, in front of the St. Lawrence River, Montreal cityscape in the background. We just walked across this bridge over here to come here for this shoot, which I was planning on doing in the morning, except we got hazy skies from wildfires, so there's going to be probably no color. So the sun's probably going to be blocked out for a sunrise shoot, plus it's in the middle of the summer, so it'd be really early in the morning. Again, I'm here to see a Linkin Park concert, so that would be tomorrow, and then I'd need to get up tomorrow morning really early for that. So opted to do this, went with a long exposure, 30 seconds of course, or the long exposure of course. I went with 30 seconds, 13 stops in the filter, and then just kind of shooting these taller buildings in the gap here. I'm gonna probably move along further on the path to get more separation from these taller buildings, and I think it'll be a nicer shot. I just don't know where that perspective is, so it might be on this island up ahead, but I have one shot. It's not what I initially wanted to shoot, but Mount Royal will be the shoot tonight, which is this little gap of land here. So I'll probably check in on my next shot, and the next one will be up there anyway.
I got a shot before crossing the bridge, but on the next island gave the views I was looking for. Pushing even further gave the separation in the towers I wanted. This would make an incredible scene at sunrise or sunset, especially if the water was still with a nice reflection. Opposite the cityscape across the road is Heritage 67, which is a unique building that was created for Expo 67. It was the thesis for the architect who designed it. It houses 146 residents and apparently has a lengthy waiting list. I tried a please in shot, then moved to try an abstract. The lines were hard to control, and this was my best attempt, with the center square being sky through the building. Montreal has a pretty advanced bike system and rental sections all over, except when we decided we didn't want to walk anymore. We did eventually find one and figure out how to operate it, saving legs plenty of walking. We use these throughout the rest of the trip as well. Donuts. When arriving at the top, I was surprised by the number of people that were still there, especially considering the number that we passed while climbing the stairs. The sun had already gone below the horizon. I can't even talk to the camera with my brother there, let alone a group like this. I waited for an opening on the ledge and set up my tripod and watched the fading ambient light and the artificial light take over. I mostly focused on the panoramic, but I did try some tighter shots. I even put on my telephoto to shoot the car trails, taking several 13-second exposures and blending them together.
Well, back in the hotel room, I wasn't going to film anything up there. I'm surprised the number of people that were up on the balcony, but it was an amazing view, even though there was no real color to the sunset. So shot twilight, shot into the more of the dark side of the stuff. And so hopefully some of those turned out. But back at the hotel, 25 kilometers walk today. The bike saved a little bit, but tomorrow, I'm not sure what's in store in terms of the morning, but it's not going to be photography related. Then the concert tomorrow, or tomorrow night. But I'm going to crack a drink and rest the feet. So
The next morning after breakfast, we explored a couple interesting buildings. Then my brother wanted to go on roller coasters, so we jumped on the bikes and crossed the bridge again. So much faster. We hit the biggest coasters, which were a lot of fun. The wait was long for an old wooden one that was built around the time I was born. It felt like it was built then too. It was really jerky on the neck, and you could even see the wood sway as it went by. We ended on a high and probably the newest. It was super smooth. The concert was next, and when we were approaching the Bell Center, I couldn't stop looking up. I love photos from this perspective. The streets are wide here, so there's more sky, but I did take a picture with the phone. The concert was truly amazing, and hopefully I don't have any issues with the little bit I put in. I did take a few pictures with the phone. I really wish I could have had my actual camera. The next morning was back to the airport to go home. It was a great quick trip, some nice photography, and an epic concert. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.